We're here with the headline entertainer of the
American icon, the voice of a new generation.
of the 2011 Cattle Industry Annual Convention at NCBA Trade Show. You know him. His name's Larry the Cable Guy.
Get her done. That's right. And let me say, I got a birthday coming up, and people go, "How old is you?" And I say, "I'm almost 48." Now, do I look 48?
Not at all.
I do not. And let me tell you, do you know how I stay so young?
No.
I read at a third grade level.
That's impressive. Now, a lot of people don't know that you do come from Nebraska, not the deep south, and you do have some agricultural roots. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I do. I grew up on a pig farm in southeast Nebraska. We had hogs. Well, that's what I did. I did all the hogging. But we had, you know, back in the day, back in the 70s, you had a little bit of everything. But I had a ton of hogs, but a little bit of cattle.
Yep.
14 registered paint horses.
14? What do you do with 14 paint horses?
Ride them. What do you think we do with them?
Not 14 at a time.
No, but we used to ride every Sunday. When I was a kid, we'd all saddle up the horses after church and go riding. We had two properties. We had one right at the outskirts of town. That was 180, I think, and then we had about 380, 400 acres about 3.5 miles away. So we'd saddle up and take the horses up there, have a little picnic, fish in a pond, and ride back to the house. But yeah, I grew up on a farm, but I did the pigs. So I had, I had 600-700 head.
This deal working out a little better than the hog business for you?
Yeah, you didn't make a lot on that, but hey, back when I was doing it, I was just a kid, so I thought I was doing pretty good. And then it got in the 80s when you couldn't give them away. You know, I guess it's getting a little better now, but you know, we talking cattle now.
We are talking cattle now, and I wanted to ask you: do I understand that you have a connection to a sale barn there? Tell us about that.
Well, look, I grew up next to a cattle barn, and I love it. Matter of fact, in my new show, Only in America with Larry the Cable Guy on history, that's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to go to a cattle barn and show people how I grew up. Because a lot of people don't know anything about cattle barns, but I grew up next to a cattle barn. And so when I split time, I lived 5 months a year in Nebraska and 7 months a year in Florida. Guess which months I live in Florida. And well, I bought into some shares at the Beatrice 77 livestock market. And my wife said to me, she goes, "Why'd you do that? You ain't gonna make no money doing that." And I said, "Well, you never know. You might make a little money, but this way I can go down there and I can load cattle trucks, and they can't tell me to get the hell off the docks." I always wanted to do that, and everybody go, "Get out of here! You don't want to get the hell off here." But if I own part of it, they can't say nothing.
Well, let's talk about not the ag business, but your entertainment business. You have a new show coming up called Only in America. Tell us about that.
Only in America with Larry the Cable Guy is on history, and it celebrates the culture of the United States of America, which I believe is the greatest country in the world. And that's basically what it is. It's a good feel-good story. You know, you watch the news nowadays, and it's all bad news, and people are down on the country, and you can't have American exceptionalism anymore because it's not fair to other countries. And I say, I don't give a damn. We're the greatest country in the world. If we wasn't, people wouldn't be dying to get over here. And so I want to cover why we're the greatest country in the world and cover our culture. And it's a good show, Only in America. And I cover everything. I mean, I go all the way from Mule Days in Columbia, Tennessee, to Ely, Minnesota, to a town of one in Monterey, Nebraska, all the way out to San Francisco, New York. I launched jets off the USS Nimitz. I ride with the Marine Corps in an assault vehicle.
You launching jets, that's a little frightening.
A little scary, but there was somebody helping me out, so we're all right. But so I did a ton of stuff, and I learned a lot, and you know, it's a good history lesson with a little bit of humor in it. So I think people will like it.
And
Hold on, I'm not done talking. And then, no, I'm done. All right.
tell me about your new Cars TV show. My little boy loves cars.
Well, Cars movie comes out June 24th. It's another Pixar deal. We did Cars 1 in 2006. This is the sequel, Cars 2, June 24th, and man, it's great. I mean, the first one was real good. You think that one was good? This one's real good. And I did a thing called Mater Tales on ABC Family. Mater was in all kinds of situations. He was a bullfighter. He was a stunt driver. And we did 12 of those. This is almost like one big, long Mater tale. And it's action-packed. I think you only have to say one thing about it. It's directed by John Lasseter, who is probably the greatest director of all time as far as Pixar movies go. So it'll be another good.
And
also, I got a movie that I'd like to plug coming out called Sleeveless in Seattle. It's a love story. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not thinking we're going to that one.
But that one I'm kidding.
But hey, here's a question. You know, there's a lot of people that had to stay home during a convention to break ice, chop ice, keep water running, calve cows. What would you say to those people that are sitting out there in the cold country US of A?
Well, you're going to miss a heck of a show tonight. I'll tell you that much. That's what I feel bad about. They're not going to be able to enjoy the festivities, but, you know, you don't want to get out of them roads.
How cold was it in Nebraska?
Well, I mean, look, you know, here's what I say about the cold weather. For all the people, like I just come from New York, and it's like, oh, the snow, and oh, I can't believe how cold it is. It's February. It's the wintertime. It snows in February. And you know what's going to happen in June? Hot. Oh, it's going to be hot. People are going to be complaining about how hot it is. And then winter come again in January, February, do the same thing. Oh, my Lord, the world's coming to an end. It's snowing. No, it's not. It's February. You know, now if it was like this outside in July, you got a news story. You know,
and you can watch Larry the Cable Guy on the Weather Channel, too, I'm figuring out, all right?
Well, just get you irritated. It's wintertime, for God's sake.
You know,
can I say this, too?
Yes.
Before, I don't want you to cut me off. My wife, this is my tie to the cattle industry. Okay. My wife is from Wisconsin. She grew up in a town of 45, and she is a grade A bona fide cowgirl. She grew up on a 3,000-acre Black Angus cattle ranch up in northern Wisconsin. They calved out about 420 head a year. And so
I've heard you can
everything about all that.
I've heard you can marry more in 2 minutes than you can make in a lifetime. It sounds that's what you did, huh?
Well, she ain't got a lot of money. But...
And one last thing. Give us your best get her done for the United States Cattlemen.
Oh, good Lord. For all the cattlemen out there, I love you, and get her done.
Larry the Cable Guy, and we'll be back after this.